Oh, good morning, coasters. And look, it's Bruce here. Sounds Air, flying now back into Westport, thank goodness. And what a fantastic service they've provided for a long time. So I thought today I'd catch up with Andrew Crawford, who's the Chief Executive of Sounds Air, and just talk about the Westport service, critical to people in Hokitika, Greymouth, and of course the Buller. So let's see if we can patch him in there. Andrew, thank you so much for taking the opportunity to talk to us today.
No problem at all, Bruce. Pleased to be here.
Now, Sounds Air, she's been around a long time.
Yeah, just gone through 32 years. 1986, I think, was the first flight, and I've been involved with it since December 2003. So, yeah, it goes quickly, doesn't it?
Well, listen, I recall the excitement of when Sounds Air announced that it was going to fly into Buller after Air New Zealand pulled out, because, you know, we are isolated. We need, sometimes the passes get covered in snow, and a reliable air service is just so essential.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And I remember at the time, when I remember it very clearly, I was at our hangar at Omarga, and I got an email from Air New Zealand saying they were pulling out of these routes. I thought, crikey, here's an opportunity. Wellington Base, Wellington Taupo, Wellington Westport, it made a lot of sense. And you go to Westport, and it's got such a small population, you wonder how it can support an air service, but it has supported it. It's amazing. And it is really the infrastructure that is needed down there. And a lot of people, they fly specialty people in and out. And of course, with Landcore and fisheries and the mining. And of course, as you say, there's quite a catchment right down the coast that drive up to Westport.
I've always been staggered at the amazing record that Sounds Air's got of not cancelling flights. And it just amazes me.
Yeah, well, we operate very good aircraft. In fact, which way am I leaning? You can see a PC-12 there behind me, and we've got 6 PC-12s now that we fly down there, and they're fantastically reliable aircraft. But of course, the other thing, and it's often a wee bit hard on New Zealand, but the Westport flight might have had to come from Hamilton or New Plymouth or somewhere beforehand. But whereas we're really just going Wellington to Westport and back, or Wellington to Taupo and back. And if the weather's no good, then we just wait. So, and of course, no one wants to go if the weather's bad. So we do get quite a good name because, well, okay, it was an hour late, but who cares? I mean, the weather was horrendous. We didn't want to go anyway, but the flight still went. Whereas in New Zealand, at some point, we've got to cancel that flight because the plane's now got to go somewhere else. So, they're running a service on multiple legs, whereas we're a wee bit fortunate there where the plane does not have to go somewhere else on any of our sectors, and we build it that way to guarantee that we can go almost every time. The only thing that really beats us is fog.
The flight, coming over the Sounds and then over the Stockton, Denniston Plateau there. I've seen the last flight I was on, I saw things I'd never seen before, and I've lived here all my life.
Yeah, exactly. And I was in Westport last week, and Westport to Wellington is a world away. You go in downtown Wellington to Westport, and probably in an hour and a half, including driving to the airport and the waiting time. It's pretty impressive. You go.
And you've got good staff on the ground up in Westport there as well. They actually care. It's fantastic.
Yeah. No, well, everywhere's like that with Sounds Air. We look after all our passengers. I mean, that's the key to the business. You have to have that customer service. There's just no doubt about it. A lot of people are resistant to going on small aircraft, but these are turbine-powered aircraft. They are single engine, but their safety record is second to none, and certainly second to none in most twin-engine aircraft as well. We have an all-turbine fleet, all single-engine fleet, and have done for our entire career.
Now, we've obviously gone through COVID. Probably, if it's anything like me, probably the worst experience for disruption that you've ever seen, and in fact, New Zealand's ever seen.
Oh, absolutely. We've had nothing like it, have we? But what can you do? These are the cards we're dealt.
They are. Now, tell me, what's the current schedule looking like into Buller, into Westport there?
Well, there's probably quite a story to tell there. I mean, we're doing 118 flights a week at the moment nationwide across all networks, and we used to do 298. So we're down 60%. The Buller is getting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're just about to, and that's it, morning and night. We're about to add Thursday return in July and a Sunday night. So it'll be back to 4 days a week, probably no Saturday. And I think maybe they're also talking about doing a Tuesday morning as well. So you can come down and spend a night, so help the motels and accommodation down there, or do a day return the other day. So it's actually building quite well in the Buller. It's impressive.
Yeah, well, Buller's going really well.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's probably worth mentioning the Ministry of Transport. We've been, I don't want to say fighting, discussing with the Ministry of Transport a support package for the last 3 months, and that you might have seen in the press that was signed off on Friday. But it's very important to note this is not a lotto win. It is really, excuse me, here's a Hercules just going over top. Sorry about that. It's not a lotto win. It is really just a support or a contribution to costs on the regional networks, of which Westport is one of them. So, and really the way it's structured, and I can't get into details because the ministry's asked us not to, but it's a contribution to the costs and a small percentage of overheads on flights that need it. If the flight's full, you get nothing, you know. But what they're trying to do is, of those 118 flights, let people know they're going to go, because that's what gets their connectivity going back. If you cancel a whole lot of flights because there's ones and twos on it, people just won't book. You lose faith very quickly, and that's what we went to the ministry with and said we need support. But it's important for people to realise, and a few people have come down the wing, oh, you got your money, all as well. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. The ministry has worked very, very hard for the New Zealand taxpayer to protect.
Well, look, I think the support that's been given is, while it's small, it's absolutely essential. And if we can get more, we should be doing it, because as a coast community, we can't afford for you not to be flying. That's the bottom line.
And that's what was recognised, I think, by the ministry. It is crucial connectivity. We do need to support them. And it's not, I mean, we're going to review it in the middle of next month, but it's really about demand. Whilst demand is still down, that support will keep going. It could keep going for 6 months. I mean, let's hope it doesn't, because it means if they're not supporting us, that means the numbers are back up.
Well, look, Andrew, good luck going forward. If there's anything we can do, make sure you let us know. And to all those coasters out there that are watching this, flying Sounds Air from Wellington to Westport, or the other way around, fantastic trip. The economy is really good, and I got to tell you, as a frequent user, it's the only way that you can go to Wellington, attend a meeting, go back to the airport, and be in your own bed the same night. It's a great service. So, look, Andrew, anything else you want to add?
Well, I think the important thing to remember at the moment, and you make a very good point there, but at the moment we're starting the service out of Wellington. So the plane used to overnight in Westport and in Taupo, but just in an effort to reduce costs, we're now doing it the other way around. So the flight goes a wee bit later each morning. So it shortens the day up in Wellington. But as soon as that domain comes back, we'll switch it back and get the pilots overnighting in Westport again to get that early morning start. But just at the moment, as part of that cost cutting, you know, when your revenue's down over half, you have to cut costs somewhere, and that's one of the areas we've cut them. But you know, with high demand, we'll be back there.
Well,
going early.
Well, look, Andrew, I've talked to some people recently who've been to meetings for the day and come back, and yeah, it still works a bit tight, but you can do it. Yep. And sorry.
Go to Wellington for the weekend, or carry on and go to Taupo, perhaps.
Now you're talking. Talking. Well, look, coasters, that's the chief executive of Sounds Air, Andrew. Oh, geez, Andrew, I'm going to cut that bit out. That's the chief executive of Sounds Air, Andrew Crawford. And Andrew, I don't know how you survive when you go from flat out to zero cash flow just like that, and then come back. But we are so delighted on the coast to see you back. Love to talk to you again as things progress, and good luck with it.
Many thanks, Bruce. No, really appreciate the call. It's great.